Hi, Sean. How are you?
Great, Tiff. How are you doing? It's nice to be back after a little while.
I know it is. I have a big cup of coffee here, getting back into the swing of things. It takes a few days.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now we're near the end of this first week back, and yeah, I feel like I'm back there. We're picking up some momentum. Things are good.
I agree. I agree. Well, speaking of the holidays, I'm curious to hear how were your holidays? Do you have any interesting stories from them?
Yeah, well, the times were it was a little chaotic for us. We've got two little kids, and we were doing a lot of traveling, and so it was fairly stressful. But there was a really nice moment in the middle where I just took a couple hours and went to a local ice rink and did some ice skating by myself. And I was like, it's not something I've done in a long time, and it was really fun to just like get away.
Yeah.
But the other thing I wanted to share, in fact, I'm going to share my screen anyway. So um, let me get set up here. And near the end of the week, and we went to my family's cabin in northern Michigan, it's one of my favorite places to go. And it snowed while we were up there, which was really cool. And
Nice.
I just feel like I have to share this with anybody who asks, because it's a tiny cabin in the middle of the woods, kind of it's on a couple hundred acres, so it's in the middle of nowhere, and yeah, and kind of magical. So this
Oh
is our
my
our
goodness.
setting. This is the backyard, standing at the cabin looking out. So it's a really, really special, kind of serene place to be,
Oh, that's
and nice to be
beautiful.
there for a couple of days, especially when it was snowing. But what about you? How were your holidays?
You know what? They were really good. Actually, speaking of ice, not ice skating though, but your story triggered a memory for me from the holidays. So I was flying during the holidays, and I'm sure, both in North America in general, it seemed like flights seemed to be just going nuts. And I was lucky though that for both of my flights, they kept on being a little bit delayed, but they weren't compared to other situations. I feel very lucky. But when so I went back home, which is about a 4 hour flight, and then you have to drive 2.5 hours to the town that my parents live in, that I grew up in. And so that was fine going home. And then coming back to Toronto, though, for the 2.5 hour drive, it was raining. But as it was raining, it was freezing rain. So not necessarily, it wasn't hailing, but it was freezing. So my dad's truck, as we were driving, it was literally the water would fall, and then it just kept on having to pull over because the ice just kept on coming in. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, like,
What?
am I going to make my flight? Like, maybe we should pull over." It was quite an adventure.
Phew. Wow. Yeah, and with all the delays, you don't know what's going to happen, so you pretty much had to go, right?
I know, I know. So, but just seeing others' travels, I'm very grateful that I made both my flights, and it was all good. So,
That's great. And now you're back, and
it,
yeah, less
back into it.
ice rain, hopefully.
Exactly. We've been getting a lot of rain here, but no ice rain, so I'll take it.
This
But
is good. This is good. Yes, yes.
But we did have some exciting, since you're sharing your screen, Sean. I know we had some exciting updates this week for product.
Definitely. Yes. Yeah. Two quick updates to show. One is that we have this new top bar, we'll call it top bar notifications. And this is a way to help elevate both the developer and the editor experience all in the studio. So when you start locally, if you don't have what you need for Stackbit to be running properly, we're getting smarter about detecting what those things might be and then giving you some sort of notification. So this is actually a project that I'm just running locally on my machine, and all I did was create a new Next.js project. No, didn't add Stackbit or anything really, just npx create next app,
Mhm.
and this is what I'm running. And then can also start the Stackbit development server in parallel there, and then pull it up. And so it's very cool because the Stackbit visual editor will run automatically. But then we'll kind of guide you through that process in the studio. And so this is kind of the beginnings of this kind of more of an onboarding process, more or less. So, and this is where I have nothing, and so nothing configured with Stackbit. So the first thing we say is, you need to have a configuration file, you need to set up your models, and then we have a link that will take you to the appropriate spot in the documentation. So there's a few triggers there today, and many more to come in the future, and that's really exciting. And also, a similar update in the same space, I should say, is on the top bar. We now have a space over next to the publish button that will show a list of all the content editors who have made changes, so you can see a quick snapshot. So I'll actually go over to our Stackbit website, which we use Stackbit to edit, and we have a number of pending changes ready to be published now. And we can see we've got a couple avatars here that are shown, and these are folks who have made changes and have those pending changes. And then we have a plus X number of folks who have also made changes. And then if we drop down our published dialog, we can then scroll through and see these incremental changes that were made. And we have the avatars listed on the right side. So we don't just have a list, or don't just have the email address of the person, but there's just kind of like a little quicker, cleaner way to see who has changed what. And so those two quick updates, and we'll have more in the next couple of weeks all around publishing as well. But that is it for me. What do you have for us, Tiff?
That's great. I quick updates, but very powerful updates. I know for the publishing, we have speaking about what is that saying? Eating, I'm blanking, eating your own dog food, or is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that. Yes.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But we have a Slack channel where, we ping is everyone okay if we publish now? And now, if there's a few changes, depending on how often a team is publishing, you can just ping that person directly, or it really makes the process a lot more streamlined.
Exactly.
Let me share my screen here, and let's get into some events coming up. Now, if you've been following along for the other weekly updates, you've heard these as well, but this is the last time you will be hearing about them, as they are going live next week. So the first one, as a reminder, is next Thursday. So a week from today, we are going live with Dato CMS. And this is at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And this, we will be talking all about the benefits of headless CMS's best practices, Dato CMS, these all of us on the panel, but especially the two Mateos, are complete experts in this space with their product, and very passionate about headless CMSs. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation. And then I'm also really looking forward to the demo that I'm going to be giving, utilizing both Stackbit and Dato CMS. So that is in the works right now, but it's going to be a really exciting demo. So bring a lot of questions to this panel. We want to make it very fun and interactive.
Very cool. So you have an actual working demo with Stackbit and Dato during that session?
Correct. It's in process. It's not completed yet, Sean, but it will be for this.
Great. Yes. Excited to see that.
It will be good. Thank you. And then also too, next week on Tuesday, we have the challenges of the modern CMS. So this is a meetup I am hosting for CFE Dev. And this is happening at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And as a reminder, I will link all these down below. It's completely free to sign up. And this is a great way to learn more about. We dive into a little bit about the history. Sorry, we don't dive into the history, but we start with the history, and then we dive into the challenges that through growing with CMSs that we are facing today as developers, and how to really navigate them and overcome them. And this is a great meetup for anyone not only looking to learn more about the modern CMS, but also too, I think it's a great time to really network, meaning see who else is in attendance, maybe see who else is interested in this topic. And then I always think it's great afterward networking opportunities can come out of it.
Definitely. Yeah, this is coming up quick, and I'm excited to be a part of both of these events. Very cool.
It's going to be great. Yeah. And I think those are our main updates for today.
Fantastic. Yes. Yeah. Quick, but powerful, and great to have some momentum even coming out of the holiday break, and much more to come in the coming weeks.
Exactly. And as a reminder for anyone watching, make sure to go check out our Discord. I'll link it down below to ask any questions around these updates or anything else you're working on.
Fantastic. Well, I'll see you next time.
Bye, Sean. Thanks.